Rayman is back and just in time to save the day. Though he's captured at the beginning, so never mind. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to play Rayman 2 because Rayman 1 is too hard to be fun.
I said, baby, give me that burger. I just gotta have a bite.
Well, now we can't monetize it. No. So, we're just going to play Rayman 2. And of course, I'm going to set some settings to where I'll make sure the joysticks work. Now at this point, obviously the joysticks will work with this game because they were out. Hold on. You know, even though I set it to not be widescreen, it's still widescreen. I love when technology does what it's not supposed to do. Hey.
Is your TV set to widescreen?
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Like, it's supposed to be. I don't know. But anyway, I guess we're playing this widescreen. But yes, we are playing the PS1 version because the other versions drag on too much. Like, it's one of the. I've mentioned this before, but I've had a video talking about it. But like, everyone always says the other versions are better because they have more content, and but they don't say how good the content is. They never say that. They never say how good is that extra content, because if the extra content isn't as good, then what's the point in having it? So, like, I'm all for a game having extra content. If it, is released on something and it has more content, I'm all for that, but, like, it's still gotta be good. Otherwise, it's gonna be pointless. So, anyway, so we're just gonna pass back and forth on the levels.
I need to go get a floss pick. I got some kernels stuck in my teeth.
Go into more detail about it.
Rayman, look what the pirates
Rayman.
have done to our world. A planet of anguish and pain, haunted by evil. A dark place, teeming with fierce monsters. Nothing can stop them now that they've captured you. They've taken everything and reduced our people to slaves.
But otherwise, it's all good.
Robots search for innocent prey. In the chaos, they exploded the heart of the world. The 800 lumps of energy which form it have been scattered. We are getting weak. Soon it will be too late. You must escape, Rayman. You are our only hope.
And Rayman's been captured. Well, never mind the hope. Just don't worry about it.
Wake up, Rayman. I will send you some help.
No. I don't need your stinking help, lady. Little box. And that's Andrew's social security number.
That's right. ABC. Hey!
Blowbox, my friend.
Are you okay, Rayman?
Okay, let me be one of those reviewers. Alright, so we already don't know anything about.
Yeah.
My powers have disappeared. You know, Glowbox. I think this might be the end.
Whoa, way to bring me down.
I need something new. Why is this new?
Yeah.
Glowbox bring good gift from Mary.
Lee the fairy? A silver lump. Incredible! I can feel its energy building up in me. Now I can shoot with my fist again. Glowbox was saved. Yahoo!
Rayman.
Let's go see Lee. She'll give me all my powers back.
Let's go see Lee. She'll give me all of my powers back. It's like, man, we got...
I find it interesting. Rayman had one game in 2D and went straight to 3D.
Well, technically I had more, but those were spin-offs.
What else did he have besides Rayman 1 and Rayman's Education?
Well, there was just, most of them were just different versions of Rayman 1. But like, well, of course, most of the 2D ones, you know, were re-released like later on. All right, your turn. No, sure.
Yeah, fun fact, I've only played like 2 levels of this game ever.
So Andrew's gonna have some fun playing some of the later levels. It's funny, like when people have tried to tell me that like this is objectively worse than the N64 version, the Dreamcast version, and all that stuff, and I'm like,
well, it might be worse than the Dreamcast version because the Dreamcast version would have looked better.
well, yeah, I mean it would have looked better, but I'm not saying that like the other versions weren't better in some regards. I'm just saying overall, this is my preferred version because it's a lot more straightforward. Whereas the other ones, in theory, it sounds like it should be better because they're more open. Glue box. Like in theory, like this part out here is usually more open, but than this version, like in the other ones. But the way they set it up, it drags out more.
Why was this one stripped back from the N64 version? Because the discs could hold more.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't know how to do it as well.
Curious George is not a monkey because he has no tail. He is an ape. He is going to grow into a silverback gorilla and kill the man with the yellow hat in a display of dominance.
Well, what's interesting is that despite the N64 version being bigger or having a bigger level, you only have to get 5 lums, whereas in this one, it's the smaller level. You get 10 lums. That was interesting. But like I remember, like someone just kept commenting on my video talking about how I was just objectively wrong in saying that this was the better version or this is my preferred version. And like they just kept going, and I don't know. I just let him have his day. He doesn't have much going on, so you know. I just let him have his day, and I get it. The voice acting's not exactly top notch, but because the PlayStation versions are the only ones with voice acting.
That's to say we were separated and don't worry, kids. I'll bring your father back. But first, I gotta go and find Lee. She likes to hang out around here. Have you seen her?
Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster comes out soon.
Yeah, wasn't that something that like everyone was wanting to come to consoles?
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, we're finally bringing them back to smartphones.
No, they're finally coming out to consoles.
No, I mean I know that, but like, didn't they originally just come out on like smart
PC
devices?
and smartphones.
Yeah.
And I remember somebody I was commenting on the Square Enix page. And I was like, put it on consoles or I'm not buying. And someone called me a crybaby. And I was just like, what?
Oh boy.
And then you know what? It came to consoles.
Yeah.
Or it is coming. It will be soon.
You're aging the video. Oh.
I congratulate you on your courage.
I don't know how much people are gonna care if we talk through the voice acting of this game. But
Who's the king?
who's the king? Stop.
Stop! I absolutely must see Lee.
I like how one of them just like. Now, the frame rate's a bit better in some of the other versions.
The pirates have taken Lee to the barricade, and they've locked her in one of their strongholds. To find her, you'll need to go to the Hall of Doors. The hall is a magic place. It leads to many other worlds. Only
So basically, we're not going to try to get every single lum.
the passage
Just
requires
get enough to,
that you have them. Prepare yourself for a great journey.
we're not going to try to get every single lum. We're just, like, the yellow stuff. We're just going to get, enough to pass through the game. Although there is something interesting you get, or an interesting reward you get in this version, exclusively in this version, if you pass, or if you get every, if you get 90% of the lums, you get like a demo of what Rayman 2 was originally going to be.
What's different?
It was 2D. It looked like it was more of a direct sequel to Rayman 1.
Really? Oh.
Like I said, we're gonna go level by level. So this is how the yeah.
I just want to follow him following that. This is how what?
This is where it's gonna get slower.
I don't play well under pressure. Listen, if we were doing Kingdom Hearts, I'd put it on critical mode and I would be destroying. Though, if we ever did Kingdom Hearts 2 on here, I'd be spending time grinding and I probably wouldn't record those parts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, wait. Why is the right joystick a throw option?
Why not? Well, I can't argue with you there.
Okay, let's see. I just gotta see what the
Because they
controls
didn't think that the camera was necessary for that at the time.
Yeah, at a time in which cameras were like the worst, they didn't let you control it. Well, at least this one let you do like left and right controlling,
Yeah.
and that's suitable enough.
At least this one also has like an aiming system, like where he was doing all that. So yeah, if you're wondering though, you don't really need to play Rayman 1 to understand what's going on here.
Rayman 1 is just a fever dream.
Yeah.
But I do want to find it on the Game Boy Advance again, so if you see it sometime, let me know.
I mean, I used to have it on the Game Boy Advance. The problem is that...
Is it expensive anymore, or is it still...
I don't think it's not too much.
Okay.
But really, after playing the other versions of the game, it's hard to go back to the GBA version.
I need to one day beat the first one. Also, they need to freaking port Rayman Origins to, PS5 and stuff.
Yeah.
Only on, 360 and PS3.
Well, yeah, and Wii and stuff, but, it...
Everybody only has Rayman Legends.
Yeah, because, and they missed an opportunity to port Origins to... So, honestly, I think the only reason they probably haven't is because when they ported Legends, half of Origins is on the game.
Oh.
I mean, technically, the levels.
That may be why.
That might be why.
Why
but
is
like,
that, then?
well, I'm not really sure. I don't know if it's because they were making like when they were making the new systems and like they knew they didn't have. I don't know. They still need to. Well, see, here's the thing. Ubisoft is a pile of garbage and thinks that Rayman should just have mobile phone games now. And also, we need another 3D Rayman game. People are asking for another 3D Rayman game again.
Who?
No, trust me, there are Rayman fans.
Name 2.
That's too many, Andrew. No. No, but, like, I've seen, like, countless people saying we need a new... Like, on Twitter and stuff, I've seen many people saying we need a new 3D Rayman game. Well, they also want a Rayman game in general. They just want a new Rayman game in general that isn't a mobile phone game.
4K remake of Rayman... 4K 3D remake of Rayman 1.
Yeah.
The,
Someone actually made a version of Rayman 1 that's really good because it's really spread out, or it's really like the camera's really out, so you can see a lot of what's going to come and a lot of what, you know. They call Rayman. I can't remember if it's Rayman Revolution or Rayman Redemption or something. I can't remember what it was.
Probably Redemption because Rayman Revolution's already a game.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, those are the. Of course, here in North America, they call it Rayman 2 Revolution because it's Rayman 2. I'm sure Kid Icarus is like, why do they add the 2? That's stupid because Americans, you know. I mean, Kid Icarus like always.
We're talking about the same place that tries to ban butter knives some places.
Yeah, he's having to suck up so he doesn't get killed. So.
He also probably has mommy issues.
Yeah, given that he's married to or he's engaged or whatever to a 40-something-year-old. To like, well, her early 40s, but still, he's a little younger than me, like a few months younger than me, and I'm currently 29.
He had to check his phone to remember how old he is.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see here. But yeah, getting a... Like, there are like a couple... So apparently there actually are whole levels cut out of the game, of this version of the game. But like, there's only like 1 or 2 that are cut out. And like, there are sections that are cut out, but like I said, or stripped down. Like I said, I feel like that kind of makes it better, only because those parts normally drag on. Those parts, a majority of the parts that like were cut, I swear it wasn't just because of limitations of the PS1. I swear they were trying to cut back on probably stuff that people originally complained about, but then people complained that they were gone, and you know. Now, see, here's the thing here's what I would fix about Rayman 2. That what they need to do is have a complete remaster or remake or whatever of it. What they need to do, though, is they just need to cut up those sections into separate, or maybe like bonus levels or something. As like optional bonus levels. That way you can satisfy the ones who say, oh, they cut the content by having it there.
Like that little dude there in the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, I know. But, like, that way... See, I don't mind... Again, I don't mind if some of that stuff was separated. They just don't need to all be, you know... Now, some of the stuff I'm okay with them not having. Like, where you... There's a part in the original version where you have to fly a ship around, and it sounds like it should be awesome. Like one of the pirate ships, the flying ones. Yeah. But, like... It sounds like it should be awesome, but it's an absolute drag. Again, a lot of it drags out. I think occasionally he's able to like hit you from while you're down there, if he aims just right and stuff.
Let me know next time you're at the store and you see Rayman 1 on PS1 or.
I think I have seen it on PS1
or GBA.
Maybe on G. There is a version that like comes with both Rayman 3 and Rayman 1 in it.
Huh?
Yeah, I used to have that one.
On GBA?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now the problem is Rayman 3.
If I'm playing Rayman 3 though, I'll just get it on PS2.
Yeah, honestly, okay, so I honestly don't know how I feel about Rayman 3. There's stuff about it that's good, and then stuff about it is on the side. that's not good. Like, it's just such a mixed bag for me that I'm not sure how I feel, if I like it, if I don't like it, you know. Like, when I did a review of it, I concluded that, spoilers, I concluded that I don't know how I feel about it.
Okay, so you can jump by pressing R3.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
How do I aim?
Well, I mean, like, whenever you hold, like, R2, I think.
Oh.
He'll, like, do a stance, you know, like that.
I'm holding R2.
Holding R... Yeah, see?
Oh, yeah, but I thought I was thinking of a first-person aim.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
This is just strafing.
Yeah, strafing is what I meant. No, you can't... I don't think you can aim in first person. Maybe not. Try going in first person and see if you...
I did earlier and I couldn't...
Okay.
Frick.
But like I said though, if a game is just as good, if the game is just like the other version, if not improved in a lot of regards, but the version has more content, you know, again, that's cool, but is the content good? If it's not good, then it's going to be pointless in being there. So I'm just trying to clarify. That's why I think that this version is better, because it may have less content, but a lot of the content they cut out was stuff I didn't like as much. If they cut out a bunch of stuff that I liked, then that would be different. I mean, if people can say that the Dreamcast version of Sonic Adventure and the N64 version of Mario 64 is much more superior to the other ones, the later releases, then I'm allowed to say that this one is better than this that this version is better than, you know. Like, people's defense of Sonic Adventure on Dreamcast, okay, Sonic Adventure on Dreamcast apparently had less glitches, and it had better textures and stuff, and I agree with that. But because of the convenient stuff that you have for Sonic DX, despite having more glitches, and I think the models look better in Sonic DX. Not the textures, the models.
I remember when somebody tried to tell me that the Dreamcast was more powerful than the PS2 and the Xbox.
It's just bull crap. Like, the length that people will go to overly defend something. Like, I wasn't trying to overly defend this version of the game. I was trying to make a point of why I liked this one more. But yeah, so this is where Lee the Fairy's at. But yeah, I do wish this game would get a remaster of some kind. Apparently, the original guy who made Rayman did not have really any involvement or much involvement in Rayman 3, and that's why I guess that's why that one's a bit different. But I'd say that Rayman 3 kind of feels like a mix between Rayman's... In some ways, feels like a mix of Rayman 1 and this game. Because one thing is that he throws his fist again.
Oh yeah, I just realized he isn't throwing his fist.
He just shoots from his fist.
Dukin.
They probably figured that was probably better to do.
Free me, free me. It depends. How much you willing to pay?
Honey, you gotta pay me for the... Oh, you mean the... Right.
Oh, you're a gold digger.